For the circle around the increasingly deluded Hitler, it's time to start making plans for the future. What will become of them when the war is over?
They needed a potential leader.
Outwardly, Hermann Goering, deputy leader of the party, remains loyal to his Führer. He had been with Hitler from the very beginning. He had led the Brown Shirts, fought in the attempted coup in 1923, built up and led the Nazis' air force. He is also a morphine addict. But increasingly, he has been marginalized.
Goering falls out of favour because of what happens in the war itself. The Luftwaffe doesn't perform very well. Where were all these fighter planes that he'd promised? Where were all these massive bombers that he'd promised? So it seemed as though he hadn't delivered in so many areas, and that's why he started to sink down the hierarchy.
Nonetheless, he is still officially Hitler's nominated successor, and he believes when the Führer is gone, he can cut a deal. Even before the party is over, Goering is packing his bags. After a few vague words and a handshake, he leaves the birthday celebrations and heads for Berchtesgaden in the Bavarian Alps. In Berchtesgaden, news of Hitler's breakdown reaches Goering. He assumes Hitler is now unwilling or incapable of leading the party.
The Hitler that he used to know in the early part of the Munich period no longer exists. This is an empty shell of a man.
So, on the basis of the long-standing succession law, this means he can take over.
He sends a telegram to Hitler saying, look, the game is up, you are trapped in Berlin. For the sake of the German Reich, give me the party officers as your deputy to take over as Führer, and I'll do my best to negotiate our way to the end of this war.
In Bavaria, with his main rivals out of the way, Goering, the great survivor and pretender, makes his move.
They're all going down, the whole thing's going to pieces, but you know, I think if I get in a room with people, I can survive this. And I think that exemplifies his personality. He felt he was one of life's survivors.